Hey there everybody, this is PotterBrony, and welcome to another bind reaction of DeathBattle. This time we have Gray versus Esdeath, from Fairy Tail and Akima Ga Kill, respectively. One I know a bit about, having watched a bit of Fairy Tail. The other I know nothing about, having not watched any bit of that. But I'm going to guess, based on Gray, an ice user. So, not really sure what to expect here. Don't know the capabilities, the full capabilities of either, and the capabilities at all of one. And, yeah. Now, we have seen a couple of ice users before. So, well, at least, you know, ice magic users. Gray's is technically magic. I don't know if Esdeath is considered magic or power or whatever. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, be sure to support the official release. The link to the original video is in the description below. And let's just get it started and see what DeathBattle's got in store for us this time. Alright. And starting the video in 3, 2, 1, and go.
The element of ice is cold and unforgiving.
Literally!
Only in an equally frigid and unmerciful land can one understand its true potential.
Like Gray Fullbuster, Ice Mage of the Fairy Tail Guild.
And Esdeath, the Imperial General from Akima Ga Kill.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In a land far, far away lies the kingdom of Fiori, a place filled with magic.
But not everyone was living their best life in Magic Town.
Alright, time to relearn a bit about Gray. It's been a while since I watched, like I said, not all of
Until an edgy-looking demon showed up and wiped out the whole place. Gray survived, though everyone else wasn't so lucky. But hey, at least he got adopted by a hot stripper.
This was Ur, and she just so happened to be one of the greatest ice mages in the world.
So Gray got to training. Who else is gonna take out that creepy demon for revenge and justice, right?
Naturally.
And he needed to master ice magic to do it.
Gray worked tirelessly and eventually became a master of ice make molding magic. Essentially crafting weapons, tools, and other inanimate objects out of ice.
Swords, shields, hammers, grappling hooks, stairs, clones of himself, anything he wants really. He can even whip out a friggin' ice bazooka. He also took after new mom and became a regular Chippendale himself. Yeah, he really never stopped doing that.
But with powerful magic at his beck and call, Gray became reckless, desperate to prove himself and destroy the demon. Sadly, this carelessness would change his life for the worse one more time.
He tried to take the demon out himself, but things didn't go so great, even with his shiny new powers. Whoa! Gray learned how to do all this cool ice magic by stripping?
Well...
Ice magic, here I come! Oil me up, Wiz!
No. Removing clothes was just part of Ur's training. See, she instructed Gray to do so in order to adapt to the cold to better resist it, letting him have a much greater range when it comes to his own ice magic.
Why didn't you say that 5 seconds earlier? When
you guys got a stripper pole?
Favorite shirt.
Anyway, Gray was out.
Well, why did you tear it off?
And Ur was forced to step in with her ultimate spell.
And give her life for it, yeah.
It's a super handy move that can freeze a giant demon like that for good. Haha!
At the cost of the caster's life.
Ah, there it is. Big enough. If that's not bad enough, Gray learned an ultimate version called Lost Ice Shell. This one also kills you, but as a bonus, it also erases the memories of you from everyone who ever knew you.
Sure, the Lost Ice Shell is hundreds of times more powerful and basically a guaranteed win move if he has enough time to cast it. But how does that even work? Say Gray cut off your arm, leaving you handicapped for years, then Lost Ice Shelled himself elsewhere. That would be a very confusing day.
Is that how I lost my leg? Wonder who it was I knew. Well, speaking of loss, Gray Filibuster had lost 2 families at this point.
But once again, he found new footing and new friends, this time with the mages of the Fairy Tail Guild.
Including a clingy blue-haired water lady, Juvia. It's okay, you can ship them. Everybody does. Including them.
Now full from a serious helping of humble
her, as far as I remember. He's kind of indifferent.
Reckless avenger,
but then I don't know how it went later on.
New friends. Which works out since this is the sort of world where fighting for your friends actually increases your magical power. True story.
You could say he started keeping a cool head, huh? Yep, no more demon hunting for him. Well, until he got his hands on demon killing magic, of course.
After becoming an Ice Devil Slayer, Gray learned how to devour ice to replenish his power, become extremely resistant to ice attacks, mess around with other people's ice magic, and conjure
this
spells
part I've
designed
never
to
seen.
kill demons.
Which would have been really, really handy just a little bit ago. Oh well, with all this magic, mages can wipe out an entire town all at once, or stir up an ice storm that covered the country of Fiori.
By comparing Invel's ice storm to the scale of
so he
Fiori,
could
based on
fiddle with
math,
other people's ice
the force
magic.
and energy of the storm would be equivalent to more than 27
Doesn't look good for
tons of TNT.
For Esdeath.
That's a big ass storm. And it makes sense, as Gray can
Unless she's got something similar.
Guildies Natsu and Urza. Natsu has dodged lightning, and Urza blew up this giant meteor all by herself.
Measuring the distance between the meteor and land in this shot, then comparing its size to Urza in this one, we found that Urza must have been moving over 20,000 times the speed of sound to intercept it, striking it with a force of over 50 teratons of TNT.
Well, damn, I gotta get back
And
into the show
Gray should
sometime.
definitely be in the same ballpark at least, especially since Urza wasn't even at her full strength.
Truly, as long as Gray keeps his pants on, literally, he is a fierce warrior who will always fight for his friends.
I've got a will all of my own. And it says my friends and I are gonna walk the path of life.
As a child, Esdeath lived among her clan in the northern frontier, hunting giant monsters called danger beasts with her father.
Awesome!
Danger
That's how
beasts.
you raise a kid! Look at the size of that thing! Where can I get a hunting license for those?
However, Esdeath's destiny would lie further south, among a 1,000-year-old empire.
Because what do you know? Her whole clan got wiped out, leaving her as the lone survivor. Now, normally
Because of course they
this would
did.
lead to a dramatic revenge story and a lesson on friendship and appreciating what you have and stuff.
Yeah, but this isn't a fairy tale,
that's
right?
not what happened.
Right. Esdeath ascribed herself to a sort of survival of the fittest philosophy. To her, if her father lay dead before her, that didn't mean she should be sad or angry. That meant her father was weak.
You're damn right! Finally, somebody knows what I'm talking about. That's my power of friendship. This girl's got it all figured out.
Well, now on her own, and maybe a bit insane, Esdeath joined the militant ranks of the widespread empire, where her violent nature found a new calling.
Yeah, like when she buried 400,000 people alive. Mama Boomstick always told me you should enjoy your work, so good for her, I guess. She even got
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
offer of a new weapon that would change everything. A Tegu.
Esdeath was already extremely proficient with a sword, but this was something entirely different. A Tegu is a supernatural relic forged from the remnants of special danger beasts. They can take the form of anything from a battle axe to a flute to a giant pair of scissors. However, Esdeath chose one so unique, most were absolutely terrified of it. It was blood, the demon's extract.
And because she's a totally sane and normal person, she drank it. All of it. Okay.
After surviving the side effects, you know, the usual headaches, nausea, maddening voices in her head telling her to kill everyone, Esdeath earned her reward.
Ice magic, bitches! She can make and shape ice out of thin air. Weapons, shields, platforms, horses, frickin' meteors. You name it, she can make it. Plus, she can fly by holding herself in the air with ice, and once built an entire army of ice horse people. Look at them all! There's thousands of them!
Well, it
Centaurs?
did take her a few days to make them all, implying she has a limit to her ability. Regardless, her enormous power is clear. She can even create a giant suit of armor around herself like some sort of icy mech.
So she's a super deadly ice lady, but she's also got a soft side.
Even with all the power she held, not even sadistic conquest or unstoppable ice magic could fill the void in her heart. Esdeath sought one thing above all else: love.
The Ice Queen needs some lovin'. I know just the man for the job.
So does she, apparently. She made a list of the specific qualities in her ideal man, who turned out to be this guy, Tatsumi.
Really? Oh, some dopey generic anime protagonist kid.
Well, he literally is an anime protagonist.
Oh, come on, he's like a 3 out of 10 and she's not even on the chart. She's way too good for him.
Is she?
Oh, right, she's crazy. Even better!
Deranged sadism aside,
Well, you don't
there
stick
is
your dick
one
in
skill of
crazy.
hers which impresses above all else. Mahoptima.
Unless you're fucking crazy.
It's a time step she can only use once per day. It freezes time, but like literally freezes it with cold.
This makes no sense.
Anyway, Esdeath got to work, leading her new hunting group called the Jaegers.
Maybe it just
and doing
freezes
as many
everything
awesome
around
things
her.
as she could to impress that Tatsumi brat. Once she froze an entire river with zero effort. Imagine how many slushies you could make with that.
That isn't even a fraction of her true potential. After absorbing those tens of thousands of ice cavalry, Esdeath harnessed enough power to create an icy storm that spanned an entire continent. Comparing its size relative to the planet's diameter, producing a storm of this scale would require a kinetic energy over 280 petatons of TNT.
Super impressive. But remember, it took her, quote, a few days to make that many ice people.
Essentially stockpiling a lot more power than she would normally be capable of on any individual day.
But Esdeath has tangled with the toughest rebels out there. A Kami who can dodge lightning, and dumb old Tatsumi who was strong enough to outmuscle this absolute unit of a Tega called, Chico Taser. What's up with all these made-up German words?
Shikoteza, or the Primus Imperator, was powerful enough to create a massive crater outside the Imperial capital. To make a crater of this size, the blast must have equaled over 900 teratons of TNT.
And Esdeath is even more hardcore. Get this, one time her arm was poisoned, but before she let the poison spread to her body, she karate chopped her whole freaking arm off and replaced it with an ice sword. Yes!
Sadly, or
Okay, why not?
where you stand, all the power in the world wasn't enough for Esdeath to win Tatsumi's love.
And she didn't even get to conquer the world either, because the main title character had to ruin everything.
But in the end, she didn't lament her failure to conquer, or see herself as weak. Rather, she simply regretted not being able to look at Tatsumi one more time. Perhaps her cold philosophy was growing a bit warmer. Or maybe she was just an insane psychopath.
I will always be on top. I will always be victorious, no matter what gets in my way.
Probably option B.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all
All right.
possibilities.
But first, all this talking has made me hungry.
She seems to have more powerful ice magic.
With more options than ever
Maybe.
before, Blue Apron makes it easy to eat well. Choose from a variety
But then
of
what they said
chef-designed
is it took
ready-to-cook
them
meals
a
with
few
perfectly
days to
proportioned
get to that
ingredients
thing.
and
It's like-
flavorful options.
Can confirm,
So I'm not
there's
sure
some
how
really
much
delicious food to
kinetic
choose
power
from when you get a
her
box
ice
of Blue
has.
Apron, and it comes straight to your front door.
Prices start as low as $7.49 per serving. Plus, if you have a busy schedule like myself,
And I forgot the numbers
Blue
as far
Apron
as
is
what
absolutely
Gray
flexible.
can do.
So you can
But
skip
apparently he
entire weeks
can,
at a
you
time
know,
if you need
mess
to.
with people's
That's
ice
certainly
magic,
handy for
so-
me when I've gone out of town.
There's
I didn't hear
something
anything
for
like that
everyone
from
on the
Esdeath.
Blue Apron menu. And it's a great way to show someone that, yes, you can
So
cook,
she would have to
even if you
really
never have
overpower him.
Cooking doesn't have to be a hassle. Blue
And I
Apron
forget
gives you
what his
options
limits
and
were.
makes it easy, taking the guesswork out of dinner so you can enjoy a home-cooked meal. Check out
I
this
think
week's
Gray's
menu.
gonna edge this one out
$60 off.
based on that
Visit
fact alone, but if not, we'll see the explanation and
BlueApron.com/battle.
Blue Apron.
that should
Feed
clear it
your
up.
soul.
But right now, it's time for a death
Yes,
battle!
let's move on to the fight.
Such a paltry country is hardly worth conquering.
Hey! Take your troops and get out! Oh, just what I needed. Another crazy, blue-haired woman in my life.
Very cool. Pun intended.
You have no right to feel my boot against your face. Now. Die for me!
Ice make, crescent flame! Take this!
That's a hell of a hammer.
Ice cannon!
Very nice. Ice storm!
Yeah, he's used to this kind of stuff. And he absorbs it.
Thanks for the meal. I say.
That's a Natsu line. Did he start saying that in the show?
Ice Devil, Zero Longsword.
Alright, well, we know that's not... She could just make an ice sword.
She's too much. I have no choice. But
Everything in sight will be encased in ice.
Time stop it. That doesn't work on him, huh?
Congratulations and goodbye.
Oh. Okay, let's hear explanation.
This just in. Male stripper found dead after a crazy night with a dominatrix gone wrong. More at 7.
Let's get to this. This was certainly an interesting matchup, and both cryomancers held their own advantages.
Oh yeah, Gray's awesome ice make powers meant he had a ton of versatility at his frosty fingertips. Like how he could eat ice to replenish his magic. She sure didn't see that one coming.
Though being the tactician she is, Esdeath likely wouldn't fall for any of Gray's tricks more than once. Also, both were in the same range of speed by scaling to feats of dodging lightning.
Yeah, but the
Alright.
Queen of Cold Kink definitely had more ice power up her sleeves. Just look at those storms. The one Gray scales to covered a country, while Esdeath's covered a whole continent.
True, but we still had to deduce the exact nature and potential of her storm. Remember, Esdeath specifically claimed it took her a few days to make the ice cavalry she used as fuel for the storm. A few generally means 3 at minimum. So we can
Right.
cut the yield of our previous calculation to 1/3. Lowballing this a bit, let's assume she used all of her power each day to make 1/3 of the total cavalry. This would mean Esdeath could wield about 93 petatons worth of energy on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's way more than Invel's ice storm, and 1,600 times deadlier than that meteor Urza obliterated. Esdeath definitely had the advantage in sheer magic power. Even with his better resistances, there's no way Gray could survive that much magic force. So he really only had one shot, the Lost Ice Shell.
Which certainly could have ended things right then and there, if not for Esdeath's time stop ability. Both the Ice Shell and Mahoptima could only be used once, but Mahoptima was more useful given its immediate effect compared to the Ice Shell's long casting time, and its versatility in that
that's a fair
Esdeath
point.
could follow it up with whatever she wanted.
Also, it doesn't kill her, so that's a plus.
Sure.
Technically, Gray's Ice Devil Slayer magic means he could probably resist the Mahoptopotamus a bit. But that brat Tatsumi had crazy good cold resistance too, and it didn't do him much good against the time freeze.
Gray's speed and versatility meant he could hold his own, but Esdeath's awesome power, uniquely suited time freezing, and domineering perseverance saw her through this battle.
Looks like Esdeath stopped Gray cold.
The winner is Esdeath.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Death Battle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link down below.
And if you want to watch more stuff, check the boxes right over there.
Alright, who we got next? Goro versus... what's that one's name? Machamp. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I've played Mortal Kombat, but, I know a bit about Pokemon, I suppose. So, forearms versus forearms. Interesting. Yeah. Not sure what to say about that one. Anyway, about this one. They'd mentioned something about him being able to mess with other people's ice magic. Like, what exactly does that mean and to what extent? Obviously, it wasn't enough to stop her, right? So, yeah, that was really the only thing that I thought might save him. Especially since, in the end, he felt that he needed to sacrifice himself to put her down. but it didn't work out anyway. And for a second, I thought she just used that time freezing thing, and it didn't. But no, she just blasted out ice. That time freezing thing is something different. Yeah, but Ray, how the fuck does that work? Stops time by literally freezing it. That doesn't make any sense. Don't try to pick apart the fucking logic. Anyway. So, fair enough. Esdeath won. And I guess next time, yeah, I'm going to end this one here. Until next time. Take care.